issue for us. The more I see and the more I read about it, the more I think we could be heading for a real disaster, like perhaps the world has never seen. So we need to think about it. But I want to reflect a bit on some of the things that are happening in some of our countries where we send money for different things, some of our recipients overseas. And I spoke earlier about starting a project for environment, and in speaking to our people overseas, I got a lot of support and found also that in some of those countries there is a lot happening already. I want to refer a little bit today to the Philippines, where we have one of our MSC priests who is actually the Mission Office Director, Richie Gomez, who is well into things to do with environment. And he is working in and running a centre called MSC Centre for the Poor. And we will put up on the internet some references as to where you can find some of his material and reports. And it's very interesting. I just went through a report that he gave this year sometime, and some of the headings, some of the topics that are in there are really quite revealing. It talks about firstly land survey and zoning. So they didn't just begin out of nothing, they did it in a more studied, systematic manner. And then food sovereignty. So food is important, food is up there at the front. Organic vegetables. So organic vegetables means a lot of other things besides that. It means fertilising, compost, care, etc. Lay partners and farmers. So they do a lot in terms of education, formation, training, trying to extend their practices out to others and involving other people in what they're doing. So formation and training for all these things. There was a herbal garden, which in the photos looked quite big, quite extensive. And we all know the benefit of herbs and to have herb gardens. Indigenous trees and fruits. Indigenous trees, and I've referred to this before, planting to replace the forest, planting trees that are native there so that they will survive and thrive, and in future be able to provide again wood or other materials that are needed and fruits, of course, for consumption, for sale, for processing into whatever can be processed into fruits, jams, all kinds of things. A nursery for the plants, all kinds of plants for all kinds of uses. A piggery, and for the piggery too there was a recycling of the pig waste in various ways onto the land to fertilise the land so that it's not wasted, and also that it's not going into rivers or water table and polluting. Free range chickens and market waste. So recycling any of the waste. A plastic bank, so processing the plastic so that it can be reused and in a form that is not polluting. Collective farms and cooperatives to involve more people in the process, and so that people can benefit from this sort of organisation, not only with food and produce, but also economically. And the use of traditional seeds, going back to the seeds that have been traditionally been used in these places, and preserving them and using them. And that's another issue of our environment, that many of the seeds, because of specialisation and the seeds being taken over by huge corporations, that now you can't get the variety of seeds. So there is people around the world who are working to preserve the variety of seeds and the variety of fruits and vegetables. So there's many things happening there. And when I spoke with one of our directors there in the Philippines on the mission board, the administrator, he said that many people in the Philippines have been asking the mission office about projects for the environment. And he said, but we have to say, sorry, but we don't do that. But now that we are working towards that, then we will get some projects in from the Philippines and hopefully from other places. And I did mention too a little while ago, one of the dioceses in the Philippines planted 60,000 trees on the same day, on one day. That was at the 4th of October, the Feast of St. Francis, at the end of what Pope Francis called a season of creation, which went from the 1st of September to the 4th of October. And we need to mention here too that this is Mission Month. We've been talking about mission, but we need to talk about Mission Month. So that's enough for today. Have a good day on mission, and we'll come back more with the environment, Mission Month and Mission Sunday next Sunday. Thank you.